in December. Like, yeah, you feel me? Like, yes, the streams was not gonna be the highest. Yeah, he should have, he should have actually did. Yo, what's going on YouTube? We back with another banger. You already know the deal. Now, today's video, we got why 21 Savage downfall just got worse, and he might hate Drake for it. So, if you're new here, you already know. Smash that like button, that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1K, and we trying to hit it. So, join the family. It'd be much appreciated. That being said, let's get right into this video. Let's see what they have to say about 21 Savage and Drake, man. Let's get it.
When it comes to 21 Savage, well, now if you are ready to see how after releasing his brand new album What Happened to the Streets and seeing the reception from it, well, from what a lot—
Wait a minute, 21 dropped an album? I've been wanting to hear 21 music for a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute, hold on. Apple Music, 21 Savage, stop playing. Y'all need to stop playing. He did drop an album. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to show y'all right now. Look at this. He dropped an album right there. We gonna go ahead and add that because y'all know. Shit, stop playing with me. I'm about to listen to this shit. You feel me? See if he really talking like, the old 21. But that being said, let's get right back into it. Let's get
a lot of people are saying, and what the numbers are showing, 21 Savage is mad because with this project, it is doing scary low numbers compared to what his last album did that was only released a year ago. Well, before we go into what this means, what people are saying, and the implications that this is going to have on the future of 21 Savage's career as a whole, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because right now, as 21 Savage has released an album that, well, is trying to make a statement right at the end of the year. He has managed to turn a lot of heads, not just by dropping in Q4, but now with the early reception that the record has got, he is getting absolutely humiliated right now, and it's all because of the stats that were released after the record's first day of streams, which now what came out is that the record received 13.1 million streams in its opening day on Spotify, which seems alright, but then when you see that his previous album debuted with 42.1 million streams in—
I mean, yes, okay, it was a year. His last album was a year ago in 2024, and it debuted at 42 million. And this year, it debuted at 13 million. So he's about, what, 30-something million off. You know what I'm saying? Like 28, 27 million off. You feel me? Which is a lot, don't get me wrong. But 21, the nigga went ghost for a whole year and then dropped out of nowhere in December. Like, yeah, you feel me? Like, yes, the streams was not going to be the highest. Yeah, he should have, he should have actually did more promotion leading up to his drop. You feel me? It was just like he dropped out of nowhere and boom, like I'm here, boom, talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? So he just needs to keep promoting his shit. It's out. It's, people are streaming, so he might as well keep promoting it. Start getting these little TikTokers and shit to start, doing dances. But it is what it is, bro. He should have did more promotion. That's all I'm saying.
Only 2024, that wasn't that long ago. That's a huge drop off. And then when you see 21 Savage's other opening day streams in the rest of his career and really see how since he became the star that he turned into, well, you can see that run from I Am Greater Than I Was, Savage Mode 2, Her Loss, and America.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It seemed like from when he started, it just kept going up and up and up and up and up and up. But he also has to look back at all them albums and was like, damn, did I do promotion back then? Did I let people know I was about to drop an album? Did I actually post and talk to people and let them know? You know what I'm saying?
Can Dream all comfortably outstream this? Well, 21 Savage is getting absolutely dragged for this, and people are saying that he fell off. He is on the brink of irrelevancy.
He didn't fall off, bro.
And that things are—
people gotta realize that people say this about every artist that's been out, that started popping, their numbers started doing good. And then they do a little plateau. You feel me? They start, they shit creep down a little bit. Oh, you fell off. Oh, he can't rap no more. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Bro, chill out. You feel like nigga, are you rich? You feel me? You always stay happy? You like, come on now. You feel me? Everybody has that plateau. Everybody starts falling a little bit, and you just got to keep going back up, nigga. Just like fucking invest in charts. Y'all see them charts dipping like this? Nigga, that's how life go. You feel me? So it's just the normal haters saying the normal hateful ass shit that they always say.
Just not looking good for the future of his rap career.
That's
with
all
how
I'm
much
seeing,
of a
bro.
drop off that this
Cheers.
is. Which, I mean, comparing the opening of American Dream to this new record, it's only managed to retain about a third of the audience that tuned into that project day one. So however you do want to frame it, and while numbers don't inherently matter, they can be a good indicator to see how people are listening and how people are responding to projects
100%.
and how the interest is in artists as a whole. And you
100%.
can't deny that.
100%. You can't. You can't deny that, which he's speaking straight facts. The one thing that 21 can do is compare this album that he dropped to the ones before and be like, damn, like, what did I do wrong? You know, what did I do different that people aren't fucking with? You know what I'm saying? And then go from there. Start leveling up. Don't get mad and be like, oh, niggas ain't fucking with me no more. Whoop-de-whoop. No, it's just probably the certain songs, certain features that niggas just wasn't fucking with. They want the old 21. Feel me? Mostly 21 by himself, speaking his shit, talking his shit. You know what I mean? Let's get it.
What we are seeing from 21 Savage is very concerning. And I mean, when you look at the rest of the opening day Spotify streams for albums released by rappers in 2025, you see the territory that 21 Savage has fallen off from. As well, there's a lot of albums, and at that from some surprising names like Mac Miller, who only ended up having an official release of an album that was made and heard for the most part years ago, and then Lil Tecca and even Central C and names like that. And I just want to say quickly, while the Drake stans are trying to have some sort of a gotcha moment and say that 21 Savage still outstreamed the Clips, and they also tried to call out the streaming debut of Nas and DJ Premier's new album Light Years and act like that was some sort of a gotcha moment as it only got a little over 2 million streams, what's important to note with those older acts, and it's reflected within their actual first week numbers, which again, it's not like numbers matter, but they give you a good gauge of how people are interacting with the music. And within that, with the Clips, you found
numbers don't matter, but numbers do matter. Because like he said, numbers don't matter saying how good the artist is. Because an artist can be getting 0 to 1,000 views, but my nigga, they make the greatest music ever. You feel me? Y'all see new artists coming out for a long time. They're not known. YouTube's not showing them. No one's finding them. And then boom, they make one viral clip or one viral song. And then now everybody knows them and they're fucking with them, going through all their music. Be like, damn, how haven't you got famous before? You feel me? All your shit's lit. It's just like this, bro. Like the numbers, man. When numbers start dipping, when you're a higher artist, you feel me? You've been in the game for a long time. Then you like, damn, okay, people aren't fucking with this. Feel me? Let me listen to my whole album and compare it to my last album that did good and see what people are fucking with, what songs, what type of flow, what vibe people are fucking with, and then let me go off that and, you know, redo my new album. You know, the next album I do, or a deluxe, come back harder with it. You feel me?
Out that about 50% of their audience was either actually getting physical music like CDs and vinyl, or they were just getting the album in a place where they could directly own the music, which is why if you look on something like iTunes, for example, right now, the Nas album is #1 there, even over 21's new project, which I just say all of that to say is that with these artists who are not from the streaming era and who have not emerged within the last 10.
Y'all see that price? Nas's album was $10.99 and 21's was $5.99. You feel me? I see the play difference. You feel me? You put yours a little cheaper. You're thinking more people are going to buy your album because it's cheaper. You feel me? And you're 21. So you're going to run that shit up. But Nas, $10.99, basically 11, with taxes, probably $11.25, $11.50. That nigga running the bag up for #1. He running the bag up.
10 or 15 years even, the way their music interacts with the world is completely different, and it's not a one-to-one thing. And so even when you see that and see now how the difference between the Clips, who only 50% of their listeners really came from streaming, And then 21 Savage, well, only
crazy,
had
bro.
a difference of about 2 million streams. Well, if that isn't a sign of the times and a sign that hip-hop is changing, I don't know what to tell you.
But not even that, to go back on what he just said. Yeah, hip-hop is changing and shit like that because the newer generation likes, you know, different hype music and shit like that. You feel me? But that does not mean they don't fuck with 21 Savage. You feel me? And like I was really gonna say, did Nas do hella promotion for his album? Like I said, I don't know. Y'all can tell me in the comments. But if Nas did hella promotion for his album, bro, then that kind of speaks on why he caught up to 21. Because, like I said, I didn't even know 21 dropped an album. I follow the nigga on Instagram. I follow Worldstar, all of these shits, you feel me? His shit would have been everywhere, and I didn't see it not one time. So it's like he didn't pay for promotion, he just dropped his shit. The label didn't even promote his shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, maybe with some promotion, that nigga really would have did some numbers, you know what I'm saying? Because promotion is everything in this world as well.
Really, when it comes to these numbers, which do just seem surprisingly low, because 21 Savage would be a name that just a year ago would have had a top 3 debut on this list. Well, there's a lot of important things to understand about this new album from 21 Savage, the bar he is really setting, and what this is showing for the future of hip-hop, and specifically within that, the future for his side in hip-hop. Well, is that their stuff has never been in lesser of demand since they have been in the limelight altogether, as well, whether you want to look at Drake this year.
But not even that. Drake has been more in the limelight ever this year than 21 has ever been. I only seen 21 pop up in Instagram comments threatening Soulja Boy saying, or what? Or it was another artist, he commented and said, he said something. That's the only thing I've seen from 21 this whole entire year, gang. And maybe like a couple clips of him at a party, you know, fucking about to fight some niggas. Other than that, I have not seen 21. That nigga's been a straight ghost all year. Y'all can let me know in the comments once again on any info that I'm missing. But from me seeing every day, working my, you know, life and shit, I have not seen 21. I've seen this nigga Drake all over the internet, you feel me, going at it with fucking Kendrick Lamar still and a bunch of other people, you know what I'm saying, but I have not seen 21. Y'all can let me know in the comments, bro.
21 Savage now, or even somebody like Young Thug. You can honestly throw Lil Wayne in there too.
Even see Young Thug more than
Lil
21.
Baby in this group and people within that cloth. When you just see they're dropping numbers, but at the same time see people like Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, Playboi Carti do superstar numbers.
Damn, Playboi Carti with 139. I knew Carti was gonna do numbers because, bro, Carti has a different type of fan base. No one's fucking with Carti's fan base, bro. I'ma say that now. Nobody is fucking with Carti's fan base. Y'all see them numbers? 139 million. Kendrick 75. That nigga did like what, a cool 30 something million more than Kendrick. Like, I'm telling you, nobody has that influence over like Playboi Carti, bro. You got Tyler the Creator with fucking what? This is him right here, right? Yeah, at 85 million. And is this his second album? Because this looks like him as well with 41.
And then you also see other lyrical acts or artists who just really own in on a niche and do their own thing really well, like a Ken Carson or something. And you see them consistently getting their numbers up and growing more interest. Well, I think the clear difference between all of those rappers and the people who are stuck within this Drake verse, you could say, and are just all around the sphere of influence and are now all appealing to the same listeners, well, in this landscape where the bar has been raised, the king has been changed, and well, honestly, with just the renaissance we have seen with certain blockbuster albums like a GNX or a Chromacopia or a Music,
who keeps calling her?
Yeah, we got hit with our first ad.
A single Spokio search can help you find out who's behind that number.
The standards for how these albums should drop, the moments they should have, and just the groundbreakingness that they should bring in, well, since that all has been elevated to a degree, it seems like people are really just getting tired and burnt out from the projects that people like 21 Savage are releasing. And I mean, when you just look at the way the streams go, which show that from track 1 all the way to track 14, most people didn't even make it halfway through the album and already tapped out.
Which is also crazy for 21, from, like, I'm going off his last album. You feel me? That's why I've been waiting for this nigga to drop some music. He's been on features and shit, but his own music, I've been waiting, bro. I've been waiting. And then now he drops some music. I didn't even know about it. I'm reacting to this. Is my first time ever knowing and reacting and seeing the numbers and shit. In my head, I'm thinking like, okay, well, did he go on a completely different vibe from his last album? That's why people aren't fucking with it. You feel me? They're like, they see he dropped and like, oh shit, like he's about to, what? 21? Dropping? Oh, he about to talk his shit. And then it could be a whole different lane where he's singing and, doing this extra shit. Because when I looked at the album, when I showed y'all, I seen Drake feature, I seen a Lotto, I seen other shit. So I'm like, oh, that automatically seeing those names, I'm like, damn, this might be like a love type of album or some shit. You know what I mean? It ain't really 21 in his bag, in his lane. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why this album could have did bad. You know what I mean? Once again, I haven't heard it. I'm going to listen to it. It's a little bit today while I'm editing these videos, and tomorrow while I, drive down the hill for work. I got an hour drive, so that's plenty of time to listen and shuffle through his album. You know what I'm saying? From the drive there or the drive home. But yeah, y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feeling about this. I'm trying to be biased and look at it from both sides, but I don't know. This shit a little crazy.
That does show something very alarming, which is that these projects and the star power behind them are not necessarily, failing to get people interested, but the difference between what we are seeing now and what we saw then is that people are not interacting with these records further than listening to a few songs and then getting bored immediately. And this is what's causing such steep declines. And I mean, with this 21 Savage record, while it's getting a lot of hate online, I don't think it's a terrible project. And granted, I don't think it's a great project, as it does have some pretty good tracks, like Step Brothers with Young Nudie. That is one of the best beats I have heard all year. And while the Drake song is absolutely atrocious, the album does close out really well from tracks 9 all the way to 14. A lot of those songs are pretty good, but that's also the problem, is that the second half of the album is much better than the first. And in this era and in the streaming world, where if your album is bad and the first few songs bore the listener, they're just going to tap away because they have no other investment in.
That's 100% true. Not only do they have no other investment in the music or the album anymore, but you gotta realize niggas' attention spans are this big now, bro. This big. Y'all see my fingers? That big. You feel me? So, instantly in the first 30 seconds to 1 minute, if you don't get their attention, they're off the album. They're going back to their favorite artist, you feel me? And they're gonna instantly start talking shit. They're gonna hate. Nah, that shit wasn't good. Bro, listen to the first 30 seconds. Bro, listen to the first minute. You're not gonna fuck with it. You know what I mean? Y'all know how people are. So, he's kind of right with that.
The project, and they could literally listen to anything else within a single moment. But with that said, while there are some good moments and there are some decent songs, when it comes to the record as a whole, it does fall short, and out of all of 21 Savage's albums since his debut record, it's probably his worst, and it's not because it's necessarily terrible, but it's because it lacks the highs that those records had. But also, when you title an album What Happened to the Streets, and then we have seen the climate that hip-hop is in today, and you are almost promising that you are going to answer and explore a question that has flipped rap upside down in a lot of ways, has changed the reputations of so many different people in so many different ways, and honestly, in terms of what a lot of people would want, 21 Savage could have been the best person to explore all of this.
Dead ass. Like I said, I haven't listened to the album, so I really don't know. But if you are gonna title, your album What Happened to the Streets, and then you're known to be a street nigga all the way, you feel me? You've been quiet. You haven't said nothing this whole time about the Young Thug, Gunna, all this shit going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? With that happens involving the streets. and then you drop an album called What Happened to the Streets, and you're not delivering on it, yes, a lot of street niggas tuned in, heard his shit, and was like, what the fuck? Like, he's not even talking about anything in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? So they tune out. You got a lot of youngins, same thing. Like he said, the first half of the album isn't good. That I'm going off his word, haven't heard it myself, so I can't say anything. They're gonna automatically tune out as well. So it's like you're losing a lot of people's attention spans just off of your album name and the first song, or the first, what he said, the 9 through 14 was good. So the first fucking 8 songs people aren't liking. You know what I mean? So yes, you automatically lost people's attention spans. The first 8, after the 8th, yeah, they're not going to the 9th, which the 9th could have been the hardest one, but they skipped out on it because you lost their attention span from 1 through 8. You know what I mean? So
when you title an album and almost make it appear as if you are going to make some sort of a State of the Union speech for hip-hop right now, and really just contextualize and help people grapple with this changing landscape and just the way that we are finding out that so many artists are lames. Well, with 21 Savage promising an album that from its vision statement was one of the most interesting and maybe even ambitious as a concept if it would have followed the titles projects of the year, and then we kind of got another generic 21 Savage album where there is some good moments, but nothing is really being said here too strong. And aside from a few tracks and verses here and there is not much of substance that is really addressing or providing any sort of insight into this major question, which if you actually would have explored, this record could have been the Atlanta equivalent to something like a GNX. And I don't mean that saying 21 is as good as Kendrick Lamar, because you obviously know I don't think that, and I obviously don't think 21 Savage could make a record as good as that. But what I am saying is that in terms of what GNX represented to the West Coast hip-hop and then as a bigger statement to the rest of the genre, this album could have been that, because with everything that has happened in Atlanta hip-hop and as an extension street rap, who would be better to address all of that right now than 21 Savage himself? And so between failing to really deliver fully ambitious music, and then the other thing that 21 did, which I think is one of the worst moves that you could possibly make in an album rollout, 21 kind of set this thing up for failure when you think about it, because when you consider that he sat down and did an interview.
If y'all been buying that generic Viagra from Walgreens, stop now.
With Big Bang 3 hours before the album dropped, and he didn't really talk about the music at all. He didn't really talk about what he was trying to accomplish with this album or why people should check it out. And
see, he didn't do no type of promotion. I've been saying this over and over and over again. Bro didn't do no type of promotion. He didn't even tell people why they should listen to it. So why am I even going to tune in? You know what I mean? Yes, you're 21 and we know you're releasing an album, but tell me about it, my nigga. You know what I mean? You didn't want to do none of that. So a lot of people were like, I ain't even going to tune into the music, you know? If it's popping, it'll be on the radio, or I'll hear it on Instagram or TikTok. You know what I mean? And that's how I hear it. But other than that, a lot of people didn't even tune in just off of that.
Instead of creating a spotlight and a beacon to try and help people care about the music more and just get more into the experience, well, 21 Savage went viral for complaining about Drake versus Kendrick Lamar and trying to rewrite history for Drake, which is a whole thing for another day. We don't have time for that. And then 21 also just said so many other ridiculous things, like the comment he made about Atlanta as a whole, which I can't really use the words here, but it was very similar to the sentiment of not like us, I guess you could say. And then 21 Savage also said that we should make a crash out city, and that has been going absolutely viral.
I've seen that clip.
The absolute insanity of what he said all over the place. Well, again, when you make an album and you're going viral for all of the ridiculous things you have said in an interview, and nothing is bringing people back to the music or create.
Deadass, you're going viral for all the wrong ways. You were supposed to be going viral for everything your album was doing. You know, everything that you're bringing out in the album. You're going viral for saying you want that Donald Trump should make a crash out city for all the YNs that want to crash out, and just let them crash out. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. What?
creating a stronger feedback loop that's actually making people care about the record. I mean, honestly, when you just look at the people struggling in rap and look at all the names we were talking about, whether it's Drake, Young Thug, Lil Baby, or even 21 Savage now, you start to see a commonality between all of them, which is that not caring about the music or making the music secondary and making being an influencer and personality primary, well, tends to be the reason why it seems like their music is disconnecting with audiences, why it's giving them so much scrutiny from even their own fans now, and why we...
Because in a way, it's like they forgot why they started making music in the first place. You feel me? Why they wanted to be a rapper. They could just, be in it straight for the money, not give a fuck about fans or any of that shit. The music, none of that shit. You feel me? They got rich, they like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck, I'm up. I'll release whatever the fuck I want, y'all criticize me. But I don't see 21 doing that, you know what I mean? I genuinely see 21 telling his story, talking his shit, because in his previous albums, that's all he's been doing. So, I don't know, once again, I haven't listened to the album, I'm going to give it a listen. But shit, this shit's been crazy so far.
We see the decrease in interest that we have seen across the board from this side of hip-hop as a whole, which even now when we see how all of these guys performed in 2025 and see the failure that every single one of them has had compared to the bar that they previously set, you start to see when people talk about hip-hop not being in the top 40 or hip-hop declining or whatever other narrative they want to push, that's not because of guys like Kendrick and even the new creatives failing, but it's because of this side's direct just descent into absolute madness and their ability to not ever recover and not ever deliver an album that both has a good vision statement and then has good music. And so at this point, I think we can just see that this side of hip-hop has consistently and continuously failed because they just don't prioritize the art, and they're instead just indulging in all of the wrong things when they should just be getting to the work. And so overall, between this and between the miss that ended up being Drake and 21 Savage's first collaboration in years, and just the mess that is that track, Mr. Recoup, this record right now for 21 Savage is looking like something that if it doesn't pick up, if the numbers don't end up doing better, and if people don't end up enjoying it or consuming it on a level like they have done with his past material, this can really be a bad look for him, and this could forever taint and really just change for the worse the position that he has held in rap and in the music industry as a whole. But now listen, as all we can do is just wait to see where all of this goes and to see how 21 will respond and react and see if he tries to actually work this record and make it seem important, or if he's just gonna run away from the failure like a lot of other guys, such as his friends like Lil Baby and also Young Thug did, is after their albums came out and after a few days it felt like, they just completely gave up on the thing. And listen, as I don't think this record is completely horrible, and it does have some good songs, I would like to see 21 Savage try to succeed here. I would like to see him try to overcome a lot of the garbage, and I would like to see him maybe be an exception to the rule that his terrible friend set. But do I think that's gonna happen? No, I don't. This is Drake's best friend, and if there is anything that we can tell about somebody who has stood next to that clown for as long as he has, it's that he is probably not going to do the thing that is best for himself. And so with all that said, let me know. What are your thoughts?
What do you guys think, bro? Do you guys think that 21 just completely flopped on the album? Me, I think he went viral for the wrong reasons, and he didn't do enough promotion. He didn't talk about his album in his 3-hour interview. You know what I'm saying? Really nothing about his music. Just different shit about what Trump should do, what YN should do. And, it's just not what you should be talking about when you're releasing an album in a couple hours right after your interview. It strictly should be nothing but the album. It's like the PR went out the window. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking about it down below in the comments. It's crazy. Like, comment, subscribe. We on the road to 1K, so join the family. And let me know any other type of videos y'all want me to bring to the channel, and we will. Other than that, man, we going.